Welcome back, everybody, to another Stargate update with Jeff from Suns and Shadows and the Stargate Files. There has been a little bit of an update over here on the weekend from Joseph Mallozzi, and it's been a few weeks. It's been quiet on the Western Front, so to speak. But as the Western Front is now known as Los Angeles, things seem to be moving forward. And what we got going on, gonna bring up Joseph Mallozzi's update from X, everybody. And so, from Mr. Mallozzi, the Stargate Writers Room approacheth. The Stargate Writers Room kicks off Monday, January 12th in Los Angeles. It's hard to believe that some 15 years since sitting down to break Gauntlet, the Stargate Universe Season 2 finale with series co-creator Brad Wright, my former writing partner, Paul Mully, I will be once again returning to the franchise. This time it'll be Stargate veteran Martin Jarrow at the helm of the new series, presiding over a carefully curated, expertly chosen, artisanal selection of scriptwriters who will, over the course of the ensuing months, brainstorm, break stories, pitch ideas, and of course, eat rotisserie chicken just like the old times. The important question out of this, I gotta ask, is this Costco chicken or is this gonna be Albertsons? What are we talking about here, everybody? Rotisserie chicken is very important. Where you're getting it from is also important as well. But the big highlight here is January 12th. We are kicking off with the brand new Stargate show from Martin Jarrow. Officially is going to start doing their writing room, putting ideas together. This is very exciting news. I am very intrigued to see this development. I knew it was starting after the new year. I didn't know it was going to be about kind of middle of January, but this makes sense. Accommodations got to get made. We got to hire the writing staff and see who is able to formulate ideas and work on their strengths and keep on going on with the idea. But it looks like, according to Joseph, he will be zooming in from Toronto for the first 4 days of the writing room, and then flying into LA by end of the week. It gives him a time to figure out personal matters of sorts. He talks about his Akemi and Sharky being settled in before catching his first Monday morning Waymo to his first in-person appearance. While I would have preferred to be there from day one, timing won't allow it. I had the option of flying in early this week, but as any veteran of the TV show Survivor will tell you, being present early allows you to establish crucial alliances, also making it more difficult for everyone to conspire against you. The good days of sarcasm. I love the dryness of Joseph. He's having some fun here. And he's a veteran of these writing rooms, and being a showrunner himself, he knows how all of this operates. And as much as he'd like to be there, he's got to take care of personal matters. But he's having some fun with everybody in his little post here on X. And the first couple weeks, here's where we're going to highlight some more of the poignant points of his X post here. First couple of weeks will be spent discussing the big picture, things like what shape is the gate. This is why I'm saying dude's got a sense of humor. Love it, Joseph. And what are character and story arcs? How does our first season conclude? Who are our villains and what do they want? And do we really want to name a character Fabian? If it's Fabian and it's anything like Fabio, he better have long flowing locks of hair or get the hell out of here, Joseph. Come on. You guys got to cast appropriately. Chris Hemsworth, after he gets killed off in Doomsday, he might be available for some long flowing locks. He'd be all right. Just saying. But from there, we move on to breaking stories, mapping out every beat of every scene of every act. Will we still be doing acts of every episode? I think so. The timing might be a little bit different, but from what everybody's used to from Stargate, where it's like about every you get the first like 3 to 4 minutes, including the intro to introduce the episode, and then you got the theme, the opening, and then you get into the first like 10, 11 minutes, 10, 11 minutes, 10, 11 minutes. By the end, you got 42. But with Amazon Prime, I think we're going to be getting back to more like 50-minute episodes ish. I think the shortest one would probably be between 43 to 48 minutes, which is the standard episode. But knowing Amazon Prime and how some of the episodes go, they tend to run 50 to 60 minutes, except for probably the pilot and the final episode. This is just an assumption. I don't know Jack, but I'm assuming the first and the last episodes will probably be the longest episodes of this season, and for probably good measure. You want to kick it off with a bang. You want to get as much information in your first episode as possible. And in your final episode, you want to end, you want to give closure, but you also want to give a little bit left for making people want to come back for more. And Stargate is known for awesome cliffhangers at the end of seasons and coming back and resolving them excellently, from Stargate SG-1 to Atlantis to even Universe. I know, season finale, the series finale of Universe is leaving a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. But that being said, we're going to continue on here. From there on, we move on to breaking the stories, mapping out every beat of every scene of every act of every episode. What's the first scene that hooks our audience and compels them to keep watching? How does Hortensia react to seeing the Stargate for the first time? Really? It's how we all reacted to seeing the Stargate the first time, like a sense of wonder, hopefully, instead of a sense of fear. That would be that'd be my guess on that one. And what kind of planet are we visiting? How does the first contact moment play out? How do our heroes turn the tables on the bad guys? What's the last scene that surprises our audience, compels them to keep watching? So they're thinking of anything and everything before they even get to the writing room. That's the mark of a good writer. You want to be trying to be prepared for what you're about to get into when it comes to Stargate. Even the seasoned veterans like Brad Wright, Joseph Mallozzi, Martin Jarrow, like everybody that's going to be involved, from the experienced seasonal ones to the inexperienced new writers that you hope will one day eventually take over the franchise and carry on basically the legacy of Stargate. Because that there is a finite time to some things, and I'm not trying to be a naysayer or anything. I'm just saying, like, there is an important fact to consider, is like, you do want to set this up to succeed and provide a future for people who love Stargate as much as like the fans do, like we do, like anybody else does, especially Joseph, Brad, Martin, all everybody involved. They all have a stake in this. They want this to succeed, and they know it needs to succeed. And this is a tall task, but I think they are up for it. And it's important to keep a good sense of humor. If you take things too seriously when it comes to this, you're gonna fall, you're gonna stumble, you're gonna trip, and you're gonna make mistakes. Lighten the air. This is how I kind of am with my job and how I interact with like our hosts on some of our other shows we have on this channel. You gotta have a sense of humor. When it starts to get too serious, like, somebody gotta break that. You cannot get stressed out over things. If you're not having fun, what are you doing there? Yes, you're doing it for Stargate. Sure, you're getting paid for it. But if you're not a fan, if you don't love Stargate, if you don't like Stargate, don't be there. We've been saying this about other genres and other shows for the last like 10 years at this point. Why are we bringing in people that don't know anything, don't give a damn, and have no experience writing anything like this? You want people who are invested, you want people with passion. This is the right steps to take, and this is a good sense of humor. Joseph will be a very much needed addition to the writing room. I am very pleased about some of this, and I like this sense of humor. This is what I like to work with. And back in the old days, it would take an average of about 3 days to break an episode of Stargate. For the first season of my series Dark Matter, we averaged a single day per episode, since Martin was part of that first season writers room. Dark Matter is an excellent show, everybody. You all should see it. One of my favorite actors is in that, Roger Cross, and there's a great cast in there. First those 3 seasons are insanely good. Highly recommend you check it out. And I will assume he will attempt to beat that record, thus ensuring I will be spending my last month in LA visiting Getty Center and hanging out at the city's various anime-themed coffee houses. Right on, brother. And he has a few like fun little he I know this is a long post. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Um they're eventually gonna get to the point where in the not too distant future will come the casting and the location scouts and the visual effects discussions and the all important choosing of the caterer, the innumerable crucial steps in the lead up to that first day of principal photography, where although I'm holding out hope for P7J989. Note, I'll be regaling my fellow writers with so many classic Stargate deep cuts that I am fully prepared to be sent home well before my scheduled return flight. Joseph, I'd keep you there past your scheduled return flight just to keep everybody in check a little bit. But that's awesome. There is a lot of secrecy around surrounding the new Stargate series has been pretty tight and very neat to know. I will try to offer insight into and keep you updated on the latest writers' room happenings. For instance, yesterday I was sent a Stargate snack and allergies form to complete, ostensibly to help plan lunch orders, but more likely, I suspect, to weed out the breatharians and crudivores. Interesting? No. Stay tuned for equally enlightening observations in the days and weeks to come. And that's what we got for an update. Nothing like super crazy important here, but there's some nice notes to see as like we're getting started here on January 12th in LA. And by the end of the week, everybody should be acclimated to everybody who's working on the show in the writer's room and figuring out some ideas, plans, characters, and getting everything sorted out. So this is a very good timeline for us. How long this takes them from there is really up to them. They should take their time. Please don't rush this, is my one comment to everybody associated with working on the show. Don't rush. Take your time. You're going to be meticulous. I know you will be, but just a friendly reminder from the fans in the community. We are all in this to support you. We all want this to succeed as well. It's time for you all to start delivering and start making it, producing it, working on it, writing it. The passion is there. We all see it. We're all hoping for the best and at worst, cautiously optimistic that it will at least be pretty good. So that's what we got for Stargate Update this week. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out. You all have a good time and stay tuned for the next updates. We're going to keep you informed as anything and everything comes up Stargate. Gators are going to gate. See you all next time.